my channel. So in today's video I wanted to do another draw with me, as you can see by the title, and I kind of wanted to talk about a specific topic of discussion where we talk about tracing in art. When is it okay? When is it not okay? Is it ever okay? So let's talk about it. Before we dive too deep into this topic though, I wanted to kind of mention, like I usually do, about this piece of artwork that I'm doing, or in this case, the 3 pieces of artwork that I have done. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen these Star Wars couples pieces that I did, and I released this one that I'm working on right now, which is of Rey and Ben Solo on Valentine's Day. And it's just an idea that I had that I really wanted to work on. I had seen The Rise of Skywalker in December and I was super inspired by the movie and how everything panned out, and I'm not really going to talk about it in depth because I don't want any spoilers. I'm sure everybody has seen it by this point, but just in case, you know, that's not what this video is about, so I won't talk about it too much. But I was really inspired to just draw all the couples because they're all iconic in their own way, and I just wanted to do my own version of them. I'm doing something a little bit different for the approach of this video. Instead of showing you time lapses of all 3 drawings, just because I feel like the process would get really monotonous. You know, it's not too different from a lot of the other pieces that you have seen on this channel from me, so I thought I would just show more steps in just one piece, and then I'll show you all 3 of them at the end of the video. So I'm sorry if it gets a little monotonous. I try to include more real-time clips just so you guys can actually see how fast I actually work on these. These pieces took me a long time, so you know, I wanted to show more details of how the process actually works so you can see just how much I actually spend on each step of the process. I did the same process for each one of these pieces though, where I start off with the background with watercolor just because I wanted that textured effect to create the kind of spacey element like I did with my Women of Star Wars Speedpaint, which was my first ever video. I will link that down below. That was the other really big Star Wars piece that I actually last made. So yeah, go ahead and give that a watch if you're interested. But anyways, it's the same process really. I start off with a background of watercolor and then I come through and I put down a base layer all in Copic Markers, and I do a lot of the shading here just because I feel like I can get a really good base layer, make it nice and even, and then I can also put in place all of my shadows and all of my highlights, and then I can deepen them later on in the next steps. I did it kind of backwards with this one and I didn't realize it until it was too late basically. Usually I come in with my colored pencils in the second step just to kind of like really deepen the shadows and add a little bit of texture and, you know, just add a little bit more detail to everything, a little bit more refinement to everything. But I ended up coming in with a line art as a second step instead, and I usually don't like to do that because the colored pencils are really waxy and it creates this kind of layer over top of the line art and makes it lighter and not as vibrant, or it doesn't make the line art stand out anymore. So I don't like to do that, but I did it this time on accident and didn't realize until I was completely done with the line art. So I had to basically do the line art twice, which is fine. It wasn't that big of a deal, but you know, that's typically the process, and I thankfully fixed it in the other pieces. So yeah, that's basically the process that I do, and then once I am finished with the colored pencil, like I said, I come in with the line art, and I like to add several different line weights in my drawings. So I come in with the thinnest line art first usually, or all of the places I know I'm going to need the thinner line art, like on the faces where the most detail is. And then after that I come in with all of the thicker lines, and then last but not least I add my white highlights with my gel pen at the very end. I also wanted to take a couple of seconds here to just say thank you to everybody, and I know that I've recently gotten a lot of new subscribers. I've recently hit my 100 subscriber milestone here on YouTube, which is so exciting, and I cannot believe that I feel like I hit it in such a short amount of time. I expected my channel to grow a lot slower than it has, so I'm so thankful for all of you guys watching, and welcome to the Freckle Fox family, I guess. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for supporting my artwork and supporting my dream. It really means more than words can say. And I'm so happy to have you guys here and to have you guys be a part of this little art community that I'm trying to be a part of with you guys, and that's great. So thank you so much again, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I really hope you enjoy my channel, and I really hope that you enjoy my content. Okay, as promised, the topic of discussion, my blabber session is over, so thank you for staying with me if you're still here. So, topic of discussion, tracing in art. Usually, I feel like when we think of tracing or we hear tracing in art, it's usually a huge red flag, right? I feel like I've tried to be a part of the discussion about this with other artists before, and I really feel like there are exceptions to tracing. You might think I'm crazy, but hear me out. I guess I'll start this off with a disclaimer before I get any angry artists coming to me on my channel. I don't want anybody going on a manhunt for me, so please never, ever, ever trace another artist's artwork. Under no circumstances, unless it's for personal studies and no one else is going to see this, and you are purely doing it to teach yourself, it is never, ever, ever okay to trace another artist's artwork. Ever. Period. No excuses, right? And I feel like a lot of us artists can definitely say we're on the same page as far as that goes. I know that tracing in general can be kind of controversial because I feel like some people really don't understand what it means to trace in a productive way. In my opinion, I never trace another artist's artwork just because I feel like I never really teach myself anything that way. And this is kind of where it ties into these pieces specifically, which is why I wanted to tie this discussion in with these pieces. There is tracing allowed in art. Believe it or not, it's allowed, but only if you are using photo references. And of course, you're only using them and interpreting the image into something and making it your own. This is how I personally use tracing in my artwork. Using these pieces as a direct example, I really wanted to capture these characters' likenesses. I wanted them to look like who they were supposed to be. And I've drawn these characters before. Obviously, you've seen previous artworks of mine, of fan art and whatever. A lot of the times I do actually just interpret the characters in my own way, and I'm not worried about creating a likeness of specific characters. But for these pieces, I really wanted to capture that likeness of these actors, you know, of Daisy Ridley, of Adam Driver. I wanted them to look like the actual people that play these characters. So I decided to trace their facial features. Something that I thought about while doing this was, am I cheating myself? Does this make me a less skilled artist? This is kind of a personal battle that I had while working on these. I kind of felt like maybe I was cheating in a way and I wasn't really using my skills to make these pieces, but I kind of came to a conclusion the more I thought about it, and let me kind of explain what that is. I kind of thought about how professional artists apply artwork. A good artist uses references, and over time, you know, maybe you'll get good enough, you'll have enough experience drawing a specific thing to where you don't really need to reference anything too often anymore. But I feel like especially for artists like myself that draw a lot of people, I feel like reference is crucially important to really figuring out how human anatomy looks, how it works, how it moves, really figuring out how humans are interpreted onto a 2D piece of paper, basically. So I thought about kind of professional artists and how they apply this to their work. Tattoo artists. If tattoo artists are making a portrait tattoo for somebody, they're going to trace that face and they're going to capture that likeness of the person that the portrait is of. This is how art works sometimes. So I feel like There are definitely exceptions to tracing in artwork, and I think this is one of them. If you're doing a portrait or you're doing a likeness, it's okay to trace over the face, because if you really think about it, every single person that traces over that is going to see it in a different way. So if I were to put a piece of paper over somebody's face and I were to trace it, it would look different than how it would look if, say, my brother were to trace over it. You know, I'm going to see different details than my brother is going to see. I'm going to see different lines than what my brother is going to see. And the end result is going to turn out different because of that. I feel like tracing, it's not really considered cheating, because every artist is going to do that in a different way. So this is kind of, you know, the process that I was going through in my brain. I know this can still be a controversial topic, and some of you might still think that this is not okay, and everybody is absolutely 100% entitled to their own opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. You are definitely entitled to think what you choose to think. And if you think I'm less of an artist for doing that, then that's fine by me. You know, I just ask that you be nice and don't say anything mean, because there's no point in that. I also would like to clarify that I did not trace the entirety of this drawing. I only traced facial features of the people that are in this piece of artwork. I only traced faces to capture a likeness. The posing and the direction of the eyes were changed in a lot of the characters to match the pose that I wanted them in. And details, you know, a lot of this stuff was not traced. The only thing that I traced was their faces, and that was just to capture the likeness. And even then, I didn't even fully capture the likeness of every character. Sure, they look like them, but, you know, that's where my creativity, I guess, came into play, because they're not going to look exactly like the people anyways. I'm not that skilled, at least, to do that. Some people have practiced their skill to really be able to capture their likeness, and I didn't want an exact likeness. I just wanted a likeness that was enough to really be able to tell who it was supposed to be, and not kind of like wonder, is it Ray's sister? Or, you know, I wanted it to be kind of clear who the characters were. Another good example of where I put this into play, I try really hard not to trace as much as possible, because I want to be able to train my muscles into really recognizing how it feels to draw things the way that I want to, like correct anatomy, etc., etc. So I usually do this a lot when I'm sketching, and I don't really do it for finished pieces too often, but if I'm sketching an idea or a concept out, I'll use a photo reference of a person to get correct anatomy for a pose. So what I will usually do is I'll take a photo reference of a person, and then I will draw a very loose skeleton. So I'm talking like circles and lines that make up the composition of the pose, basically. And I will take that and then flesh it out, not over top of the drawing anymore. Like, I'll move the skeleton off of the drawing, flesh it out, give it muscles, all that stuff, and then I will kind of manipulate it and shape it based off of what I want my drawing to look like, as opposed to maybe what the person looks like in the photo. So, for example, maybe the person in the photo has a longer torso than what I was imagining for the character that I was drawing. So I will kind of take that basic skeleton of that pose and manipulate it into something that I want. And that's typically what I do for a lot of my drawings. I didn't do that for these drawings specifically, but I did do them quite often for my Inktober drawings, just because it made my drawing process a lot easier. Especially because I was drawing so many characters every single day. I don't know if you technically would consider that tracing, because I'm not really tracing any hard lines. I'm just tracing the general shape of things. But I'm sure everybody's definition of tracing is different, so let me know what you think, I guess. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like this topic is very interesting. I feel like there's a lot of varying opinions on it, and I feel like the only time the opinion is wrong is when you're tracing someone else's artwork. It's never okay to do that. especially if you're tracing it line for line. It's never okay to do that, ever. I wouldn't even do that in your sketchbook. I mean, you can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own sketchbook, but I wouldn't even recommend doing that because you're not really learning anything. You're learning how that one person draws, and you're not learning anatomy in real life. You're learning how this specific artist interprets human anatomy, and I feel like you're not really learning much if that's what you're doing. That's just my opinion though. I think if you're going to study other artists because you like the way they draw, you should do it without tracing their artwork. Like, if you watch my sketchbook tour, you saw that I referenced Jacqueline de Leon quite often in my sketchbook because I really enjoy her art style a lot, and I like the comic style that she draws in, so I aspire to be like that one day. But I'm not going to trace her art. I'm just going to reference it for study purposes, and I would never use her art as a reference for a finished piece unless I completely did it in my own style and maybe referenced a pose that she did, or, you know, and if anything, I don't even like doing that. I like making stuff that's original to me. I want my artwork to look like my artwork. I don't really want it to look like someone else's artwork. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is kind of a longer topic video, so I'm sorry if you guys are bored. That's basically the end of the discussion, so let me know what you guys think about videos like this. Do you enjoy watching them? Do you enjoy listening to them? Let me know what you guys think about this particular topic. Do you think it's okay to trace? Do you not think it's okay to trace? I think it's interesting to hear your guys' opinions. I just want to say be friendly. Don't yell at anybody in the comments if you see somebody's comment that you don't like. Just be polite. Voice your own opinion. You know, don't be mean. We want to be nice humans, not mean humans. We need more niceness in the world, more kindness, more love. So please no mean comments. I really don't want this to be a space for that. I want this to be a safe space for you guys. So yes, be nice. Other than that, let me know what you guys think of this video. Do you like the format? Please give me feedback about what you guys want because I do want to make these videos for you guys. Are these draw with me's with topic discussions interesting to you? Are they videos that you enjoy watching? Do you have any other topics of discussion that you would like me to cover? Anything you have in mind that you are unsure about? Any questions? Please never be shy to reach out to me in the comments below, or if you're more comfortable, you can send me a direct message on my Instagram account. I would be more than willing to help you answer any questions that you guys might have about stuff. And I will help you to the best of my ability. I can't promise that I'll have answers for everybody's questions, but I will definitely try my best. I'm no professional here. You know, I'm just doing my thing and learning stuff as I go, basically. But if I have any helpful advice for you guys, I will definitely be sure to share that with you. If you do have any ideas that you want me to talk about in other videos, let me know in the comments. I will definitely highly consider that for you guys. Is there a different way you want me to make these videos? Do you prefer to see my face in these videos? Like kind of like a little screen kind of a thing where I'm in the corner chatting with you guys directly to the camera? Or do you like to see these videos with just a voiceover? Let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'll try one, see how you guys like it, and we can go from there, I suppose. But I guess other than that, that's really all I have to say. So again, thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm just going to kind of sit back here, let you guys finish watching as I add all these little final details, and you'll see the other two drawings at the end of the video. So for now, I'll let you sit back and watch, and I'll close you out at the end. Alright, and that is the end, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see here in the close-up, I did end up adding raised freckles because I forgot about it at the end, as well as a few other highlights here and there. So here's the final look at all 3 pieces. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm so excited to have all of you guys here and to slowly watch our Freckle Fox family grow. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you like these pieces. As always, all of the materials that I use will be listed in the description box below if you have any questions about anything I was using. My social media links will also be in the description box as well as in the end card of this video. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, you guys are great. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. And until next time, bye!